In the past few years of scaling multiple info offers to 7 figures and beyond, I had the chance to try every single funnel strategy under the sun, right? And all of them worked, but one of them stood out in particular simply because it allowed us to create a huge correlation between audience size and cash collected per month, and also allowed us to scale multiple clients to 6 figures a month, as you can see right here. So in today's video, I'm going to break down why this is the funnel strategy when it comes to liquidating your organic audience, when to run this funnel strategy because you can't really run it at any stage of the info business, and how to actually execute it on a month-to-month basis to see success similar to ours. Now, because when it comes to scaling your info business, you have to understand that there's really two types of funnels that bring in cash at two different types of frequencies into your info business. On one hand, you obviously got evergreen funnels. So examples of that would be the opt-in funnel, the VSL funnel. The profile funnel is a good example as well. And the way evergreen funnels work can be explained by this little graph right here where we have cash right here. So that'll be cash, and we have time right here. And over time, evergreen funnels bring in a steady amount of cash that maybe varies by a little bit, but it's not in a way where it goes up and down as it does with event-based funnels, right? But with event-based funnels like challenge funnels, webinar funnels, or masterminds, on the other hand, you basically have the exact opposite where you have cash right here and time right here. And over time, they really bring in a lump sum right here, and then it goes down, it goes down, it goes down. And then you have the next event, the next webinar, the next evergreen funnel. It goes up again, you make a shit ton of money. But in that gap right here, you're not making money, right? So that's the issue the so-called hybrid call funnel solves, right? The hybrid call funnel is a funnel where you combine an event-based funnel, in that case webinars, but you can really run it with challenges and masterminds as well. We'll just find it easier with webinars simply because you're really good at it and generate between 50 to 100K in every webinar we run with call funnels, right? And the reason we combine this with a VSL call funnel instead of any other evergreen funnel out there, like the profile funnel, for example, is because we've simply kind of mastered it, right? We're really dialed in on that. And it consistently allows us to collect 17K in days for our clients right here, as you can see in the story, right? So that's the reasoning behind it. But as I've said, you can really combine this with any evergreen funnel and any event-based funnel, if that makes sense. Now, but what's even more important is for you to know when to actually run this funnel, right? Because the truth is not every offer is just ready right now to run this funnel. And the reason it works so well is because it allows us to collect all the cash from the leads that didn't initially convert on our primary evergreen conversion mechanism. So that'd be the VSL call funnel in our case. And it allows us to kind of scoop up the leads once a month and get them into our program just by running an extra conversion mechanism, which would be the webinar in our case. So if you're not currently doing at least 30K per month, that's like the number we usually go with and where we usually start to run these type of funnels with your high ticket info offer, and you don't have a dialed in content strategy, a dialed in evergreen funnel, and a dialed in sales team, it doesn't really make sense for you to run this, right? Now, if you're a coach or a consultant or growth operator or basically anyone looking to scale their info offer and you need help with the stuff you can see here, so with dialing in your offer, your content, your funnel, there'll be a link in the description where you can book a quick 15-minute offer audit where me and my business partner will hop on with you and just give you some free game and obviously give you the option to work with us as well if that makes sense for both sides. But that said, those are the kind of qualifications you need to start running this funnel, right? Because once you're consistently booking calls every day, then it makes sense to implement a monthly audience liquidation event. That's how we call it, and fucking print of it, right? So that's when you should run it. And the way to actually execute it on a month-to-month basis looks kind of like this, where you first obviously have your content strategy. Most of our content is ran on YouTube and Instagram simply because we have the most experience with these two platforms. And the way you want to run it is basically based on the market structure of any market out there, really, where we have the in-market buyers, the needs convincing crowd, and obviously the non-buyers as well. And we want to adapt our content based on that. So first, we want to have some top-of-funnel content, basically the mass market content that's not necessarily even related to your offer, but just brings in a ton of people into your ecosystem, right? And while it's likely to not make us money directly, it'll again bring more people into the ecosystem, which are more people that could potentially buy later down the line, and more potential buyers obviously equal to more cash. Now, in the two things you want to kind of keep in mind when running this top of funnel content is that one, it should be relatable because people buy from people they can relate to, or people that seem just like them just in a better position, if that makes sense. And it should obviously be centered around growth, right? So your organic reach expands as people share, follow, and engage naturally. So that's what it should be optimized around. Then you also want to run some middle of funnel content, aka in-market content. And the entire goal of in-market content is to kind of bridge the gap between awareness and conversion, if that makes sense. And that gap is bridged by trust. So what we're going to want to do with middle of funnel content is to nurture and educate the audience who already knows who you are. So these people have seen your top of funnel content, maybe your short form, and now they want depth, clarity, and proof. And then we also going to want to run some ready to buy content, aka bottom of funnel content, which actually is the one thing that turns our viewers into cash by providing undeniable proof of competence and undeniable proof of results, right? That's how I'd summarize it in 10 seconds, I guess. Now, and what we're going to want to do with all of these leads and all of this traffic is send it to a super simple call funnel, right? We've tested multiple variations of call funnels. And the way it currently works best for us is to have a super simple headline up here, have some video right here, the VSL obviously, and have a simple Typeform application right here, some client results down here, and another button just to make the process of actually like scrolling up and applying as straightforward as possible. The way we currently structure our Typeforms, simply because it converts the best, is that we first have a commitment or intent-based question at the start, asking them if they're ready to get the desired results. Then we have the current state question, asking them where they are with our kind of new opportunity. And then we obviously go into their pain points, like bringing awareness to the biggest struggle holding them back from actually hitting the goals with their new opportunity. Then we obviously want to paint the vision and do some future pacing, basically asking them where they want to be, ideally 90 days from now. And then, and only then, we want to ask them for their contact info, just because we see that perform best. So in question 5, we want to ask them for their contact info. Then obviously qualify them based on budget/investment, asking them if they're ready to invest, if that makes sense for them. And then we have the calendar embedded in the final step. And this is very, very important that you have it in the Typeform, simply because you see around a 50% drop off just by having it on an extra page, right? Because we tested it, obviously. And that's the results we usually see with it. So we have a 14.5% completion rate, which means that every 7th viewer who actually starts the application goes on and books a call. So that's how it's structured with Typeform if I was you, and if I wanted to scale to 100K per month. Then we obviously want to send them to a call confirm page. Now, quick disclaimer, this isn't a client of ours. We're not working with this guy. And we obviously want to send them to the call confirm page to help them do their due diligence and actually get them to show up and decrease our cancellation rates and reschedule rates, because that's something we've been struggling with a lot the last month, but it seems like we're fixing it right now. And the way we're fixing it is by obviously having a confirmation video and some breakout videos. I don't know why that's not loading right now. Okay, that's really, really weird. Anyway, and the one thing we're currently testing right now is to have an offer video and a document, an offer document. And the way we structure these documents is that we have our average client expected timeline, personal results, stories from some of our clients, the branded e-commerce model explained, the opportunity explained, why this opportunity and how it's different and why they basically have to do it like right now. Our offer, the actual components, how it works, what they're getting step by step, what the program looks like from the inside, expected ROI, guarantee, FAQ, raw client results, and client interview highlights, right? That's how we're currently testing our call confirm page, simply because we've seen that work on much, much bigger offers. So we're implementing it on all of the offers we're managing right now, right? And that's basically everything in terms of a VSL funnel. That's going to be your evergreen funnel that you run on a daily basis, and it brings in daily cash, like in this graph right here. Like that's going to be the thing that brings in daily cash, maybe with a few fluctuations, and consistently fills up your calendar, right? Now, but once a month, usually at the end of every month, we're going to want to start promoting a webinar funnel, right? And the way we do this is by having a funnel like this, and obviously sending all the traffic from Instagram, YouTube, as well as our email list to this webinar funnel to get people to sign up for it. And we have a registration confirm page, which is pretty much similar to the call confirm page, just in a different stage of the buyer journey, because they obviously haven't booked a call yet. They've just signed up for the webinar. And then we run a pre-webinar promo, which is structured somewhat like this. I'm not going to go through it right here. If you want the full Miro, by the way, just shoot me a DM on X. It'll be linked in the description of the video, and I'm going to give you the full Miro. And then we run the actual webinar where you have a quick hook, so a paint section, where you basically tease and excite them on what they're about to learn, where you position the offer owner or the guru, however you want to call it, as the authority in the space. Then we position and give them the right paradigm, or a paradigm that's conducive to us selling them at the end of the webinar in terms of the new opportunity and why this is the opportunity they should follow. Then we obviously have the live training, a quick transition to the offer itself, the guarantee or the risk reversal part, and some urgency and a final close. That's how we usually structure webinars. And once that webinar is done, we're going to want to start doing two things, right? So right after the webinar, that's going to be around 4 to 5 days. We're going to want to send all the traffic to the replay page, right? That's going to happen via Discord, via email, also via Instagram and YouTube. But after those 4 to 5 days, that's how long we usually run it right here. We're going to want to turn on meta retargeting ads. And what we're going to want to do is create a custom audience of people who signed up and attended the webinar and retarget them with our VSL call funnel, right? And the way you're going to want to structure your creatives, we usually run video creatives, FYI, is that you give them a hook and hook them in. Then you want to give them a few reasons why this is the right opportunity and why you're the right person to teach them the opportunity or to work with for that opportunity specifically. And also obviously reasons on why they can actually do it in the position they're currently in. And with these creatives, you're going to want to send them to the call funnel and book calls for around 30 to 50 bucks per call. That's how we usually see it play out. And that's what allows you to kind of have that consistent cash or revenue coming in on a day-to-day basis, but also have those lump sums or this one lump sum coming in of the month just from all these people that didn't initially, okay, that looks weird, that didn't initially convert from the evergreen call funnel, if that makes sense. And that's how you're going to want to structure your hybrid call funnel. That's how we currently run it for most of our clients, at least for the ones doing 30K per month or more. And it's also what we're going to roll out for all clients once they hit those qualifications, right? Now, and if you found this YouTube video valuable, you can obviously go leave a like, subscribe. I don't know what else there's to do on YouTube, to be honest. If you're a coach or consultant or anyone looking to scale your info offer, again, go check out that link in the description. Book a call with me and my business partner. We'll kind of walk you through, on one hand, what's stopping you from actually scaling right now, and on the other hand, what you can implement in addition to what you're already doing to scale to those 7 figures a year and beyond. But that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found this valuable. Let's all go make some money with this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.